Yes, thank you very much. I'm sorry for that. I was having some troubleshooting issues again. So apparently, I've been forced into another situation because, my mom being a legal guardian has made decisions, a lot of times without my prompting permission or, just thinking she knows what's best. And so I'm, in the process with these two court cases, still having to wrap up with, trying to restore my competency, which was recently dismissed because I wasn't able to get the papers served by the sheriff. So I have to reapply from scratch, which I'm having to do all the work with anyway. So there's that, and then I was forced into the ACT team agreement, which I had worked with, several years ago, but they think that, anyway, so that is, since they're switching over with that, apparently they have a therapist and psychiatrist on board. Like I said, I was, forced into this, so, but apparently I'll have to, at least, I'll have to let you and Dr. Green know. So I'm supposed to work with their team on board there instead.
I
Um,
understand. Yeah,
so
I understand.
But
Yep.
if I could propose the option to stay in touch here via email and follow up that way to stay in touch, I would really
Sure.
appreciate it. Yeah.
That's fine. That's
So
fine. Sure. I'd like to know what's going on. That's for
thank
sure.
you, thank you. Yeah. And so the other case that I'm having to wrap up with, I just as of yesterday, they told me that without the attorney notifying us that I have to have a forensic evaluation.
Hmm.
So yeah, so to be able to even move forward with the trial. Now these charges should have been disputed back in the fall of last year, and they did not even attempt to communicate, which was part of the problem. And that had to do with the farm um, that was that was boarding the
The
bunnies.
charges.
Yeah, yeah. So the charges were based on misunderstanding that they did not even uh, attempt to communicate about, and that was the whole issue. Was I was trying to visit my therapy bunnies, and they were denying any access or contact. And I didn't even know we were breaking the law. I assumed that they left the door open, which is actually a liability on their part. That they had left the door open so that we could go in and visit. So my friend and I, and he didn't get written up at all. So I was the one who ended up with those charges for breaking and entering, trespassing. Ended up getting interrogated, handcuffed in front of my therapy bunnies, and thrown in jail. And um, if I had not by chance had a friend who was willing to pay the bail, I mean, it was only $250, but that I would have died there. And I have been put through all kinds of trauma and torture and things, and if we that never should have happened. It wouldn't have happened. Going back to how complicated it's been is because we had pressure, back with the housing thing that you wrote the advocacy letter for about being evicted.
Yes.
They were pressuring me to be at risk for being homeless, suicide risk, and the bunnies being at risk. And so they forced mom, it wasn't mom's decision, but she was told the only option is to take them over here. And it should have been a positive experience. And it was at first. They were nice, but we had no way. I had no way. They limited communication. I'm their mother and their rightful owner, and they refused to even live up to their own agreement of having a weekly video chat. They refused for me to be able to visit. I have even requested to volunteer, but they took my disability check for the month, and and they were out of my care for 3 months. I was in emotional turmoil. So this whole thing. Then I had to get the public defender who was assigned, was trying to be able to dispute this earlier. We've been to court now three times, uh, and now they didn't even let us know. But I have to get this forensic evaluation just to be able and go through all these hoops, this manual labor and stuff, just to be able to prove my competency. So I'm exhausted. I have not have any support to recover. I'm recovering also from the seizure disorder. I'm recovering from being drugged and raped and sexually violated, verbally abused, death threats, everything. I mean, you name it. Needing a refund here, and the problem with the real estate company as well is they have not been willing to communicate. They've been accepting the check every month via auto pay. They wait till the end of the month, and they're just now finally responding about being able to not threaten to evict me, because apparently, Dr. Kirch, I have a criminal record that I should not have, which is preventing me even further from having gainful employment. So yeah, and yep. So I found out I had applied actually for a housekeeping for a cleaning job, and it said you didn't pass the background check because apparently still have just on my criminal record, and they were trying to add the eviction to it. So anyway, it's just, yeah, it's been, and so all of this really going back to the core, all of this should and could have been avoided if they had not forced us into a position of being vulnerable. If they had communicated, if they had, so anyway, so I'm having to get a separate attorney for the housing issue. Now, appreciate your advocacy there. So we're finally trying to get support for the cleaning, and for the bunny care and stuff. So, and also so that I could be able to have a change of scene and be able to be in a safer, healthier environment, which I should have had help with earlier. But anyway, so the spinning my wheels and going on, these are things that haven't been in my control, obviously, and I'm just trying to, as you recommend, to adapt, like the water and stuff, to not, couldn't, waste any more energy with being defensive about it, of course.
Yeah, the anger control is probably the most important
The
thing we
anger,
all can do
the
to
anger,
get through this life.
and so many people, most people misinterpret. They have no idea because they don't have background, um, on anything, and the anger, can be as serious. So I'm trying to, I need to be around people who have mental health awareness, who are able to be more considerate of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Choose carefully.
exactly right. Yep. So and also, just being up in the air about everything. Just and when I finally broke free and got to travel, the last two trips have been hell, been put in jeopardy, and not had any connections or resources. I was having to manage that all myself, and I have some other trips pending, but I've got a lot of fears, and I've got a lot of reservations, not good reservations, but financial fears, and fears um, about safety, about being not have any help and being alone, which I have been traveling, but
Yeah.
so and this isolation segregate. A lot of it is racially segregation. So I'm trying to break free from that, but right now, I've been so disadvantaged, and I'm never wanted to be in a victim position, but I have been victimized in multiple ways by multiple people, and so, like I said, with the employment bit, and then also being in a dictatorship type of dynamic with my own mother, who I'm trying to repair things with, but I keep getting my anger keeps getting triggered, and I'm just trying to have to fight to get my own rights restored, to have to go through all these hoops, and also, I mean, I've been doing that, but to have to be forced to do all this manual labor, and just now for them to be putting in a request in to have some support with that. I did not have a CST War Act team for the course of several months. How long is it going to take to get the paperwork and everything? I don't even want to live in this state. I have been put through hell in this state ever since I moved here, and I don't want to attribute it. I'm trying to be forgiving, but I cannot handle one more thing, and these babies have been put through that too. We're just trying to get, people who understand, who care, who, not trying to complicate things, and then we get blamed for other people's problems and get ensnared in all this, so.
It's a lot on your plate.
Oh yeah, and so that's why we've needed to be able to break free and be able to branch out to other places, but I'm not able to. I'm struggling financially. Thankfully, I have disability, so I'm able to. I was out without EBT support, food stamps. They removed that for 4 months, and I had to do all. It was like 100-page application. So I've done all the work to have to reapply, but at this point, we're just trying to recover and survive. So, yeah, and the NLP and stuff that we talked about. I'm really trying to have a career, with acting and with all the things I'm passionate about, creative things and in music and entertainment things. And people don't understand, think I'm doing it for selfish reasons or to be on a pedestal and be famous, whatever. That may never happen. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm really just trying to be able to have a career what I'm passionate about, what I feel is the right fit. That I, So anyway, but this, as you know, like with method acting, this has been a real life experience. I am not acting, but this is part of what's shaping that too. So,
Quite a play, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All of these experiences, and how do we use them in ways that we uniquely, that God gifted us with,
Yeah. Well, how the question is, well, how do other people do it? And
yes,
other people have a way that works, and some people have a way that doesn't work, and we've got to learn
find what
work.
works and what doesn't. Yeah.
That's the hard part sometimes, because old habits die hard in all of us.
Well, we need the bad habits to be substituted, by and that's, as you know, with addictions and with all this, it's hard to shift over once you get caught. That once you feel stuck in some of the old habits, it's hard to shift things over. Because I still have these blocks with following up, with being on time, with communicating. So I just feel as though there's this very strong current, like an undertow, and I'm trying hard to tread water and just trying to be able to see where the shore is. I'm trying to find, a lighthouse without deceptive lights, to be able to find my way back and not be deterred. So you know what I mean? I'm just have not been making the progress that I should.
I understand.
Just trying not to
I
drown.
hate that for you.
Yeah.
I hate it for you.
Thank you, Dr.
I
Kirch.
see
Well,
who you are in there. He's got a good spirit, and you're a
thank
well-intended
you.
person.
Thank you
And
very
these other
much.
things get in the way.
Yep,
And it's so
that's
frustrating
right.
for you. I can't
That's
imagine.
right. You got to keep persevering. So,
Yeah. Make
so
sure you keep the evil twin out of your mind.
that's right. That's right. Have you seen the
we
movie?
all have that,
Okay, exactly right. What do you call it?
The adversary.
Yes, and the
The
two-sided.
adversary's always working on nice people to make them have trouble.
Exactly, and some of the most important relationships, and we get blindsided. I know I do. So, anyway, I have a special permissions request to definitely stay in touch, and either way, and the other thing is to have permission. These sessions have been so important, to me, and I need to reflect on things. So in the past 2 sessions I have recorded this in the video, and you gave me permission to do so, and I'm only using it for the purpose of, being able to share things that I'm wanting people to understand, and that you've been supportive, and we are trying to work through these things, and this is important to be able to express it. And so also, like I was mentioning with the acting and stuff, this is a part of my journey with being able to understand my own role in things.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the conscious has to be in touch with the subconscious
That's
as
it.
much as
That
possible.
yeah, and so that's been a huge disconnect. How do we realign? What kind of tips do you have to be able to realign when they get broken apart and pulled apart? Push me, pull.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Trust but verify, and that's just what it is. We have to be careful. At the same time, we can't be too tight with mistrust, because that throws everything away, and we end up alone.
That's a very important point, as you said before, because some of that's to have us be cautious and conscientious about safety and things and health, but you know what I mean. But the other extreme is, so it's a fine line, and to be able to like you said, trust but verify, because I've coming through a lot of trust issues with people I've trusted, and feeling turned on and feeling abandoned. And I think some of those abandonment issues and have been carried through even from birth, having been adopted and stuff. So that might still be just as you mentioned, the subconscious, or
there's work to be done, and it's possible if you're willing, and
thank you.
the important thing is to move forward with it. So it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but it can be unpacked, and it can be dealt with, and it can be put in a place where it's not influencing your life so much anymore.
Exactly.
In ways that you don't want it to.
Exactly right. So in terms of the peer factor, what are some tips you have to try to minimize the peers?
Well, a big part of it is, like the paperwork that you might have needed to get done. What's the obstacle? We have to find out what's preventing you from doing those things.
Okay.
And anybody with ADHD can understand that, because it's not fun. I mean, you write articles beautifully. You're really good at writing articles, but a paper like that isn't the same thing when you have to fill out all these things. And so, even sometimes here, I'd have something ready for you that we had agreed upon that I would give you, and you would leave, and I couldn't find you, and you'd be out in the car, because it's the forgetfulness, I think, that's part of the problem here, is that, one of the whatever you can do, if you have to write it down, you have to use your phone, put it in your notes, set an alarm on your phone with a message on it.
Yes.
These are the kind of things that I have to do, because I have ADHD.
Really?
And if I don't do those things, I can forget. So, I mean, I set the alarm off at our house at the beach, because I forgot I had turned it on. And, I have a PhD, I should know better, but old habits die hard. I opened the sliding glass door thinking, which way does the lock go, up or down? And I was testing it after I set the alarm, and boy, that thing is loud.
Yes.
So, we all make mistakes. I'm not trying to pontificate. I'm only encouraging whatever you can do to remember important things that you've got to get done, because that shows other people that you can be competent. If you want to be evaluated for competence, you've got to be competent. And you got to show people that you can do these things, because I know you're capable of it. You're smart, you're intelligent, you have reasonably good health, you're not weighing 400 pounds and in a wheelchair,
I've been in a wheelchair, Dr. Kirch, and I actually with the side effects from medications. So I'm moving forward from the medications and charting a more holistic, integrative approach to health. But I'm preventative medicine, but certainly have been tried all those things. I've been in a wheelchair through having to go through just get through the airport, having to get back alive, and all these hospitalizations and things. I'm trying to move forward with that. And as you know about the PTSD being related to the seizure disorder, the seizure episodes and all. There's a lot of
something.
Yeah,
Doing really
there's
well with that, I hear, and that's really good news. And I know it's not
yes.
easy, but
Well, I'm very grateful not to have them and be able to be free from them because I know there's a serious suicide risk just continuing on, to have each one. But now, there's a lot of residual fear for PTSD and all that. So I have to
of
be
course,
able to, yeah.
I understand.
So,
Yeah, that's important to work through somehow so that you can have peace and learn how to
exactly.
coexist with the horrors of what's happened somehow.
Exactly right. Exactly right. How do we
And not
process
let
it?
it get you down, and not let other people get you down, no matter how they behave. Being that mountain in
Exactly.
the wind,
Yep. Yep.
having faith in God,
That's
praying a
right.
lot, asking for the Holy Spirit to guide you through the day, and
Yes.
you'll be invincible.
Well, yeah.
You know
Thank you.
that.
That's right. Strength in the weakness. So, um, thank you. I
Well,
mean,
actually, yeah. In our weaknesses, where the Lord has strengths, because He can help us get it through, and then we glorify His name. We give Him the credit for it, not ourselves.
yes.
I can't even do this work without Him every day, Susan. I have to pray every day to do the right thing, and to listen carefully and to keep my mind still. Because if I get too worked up, I do stupid stuff.
So the prayer has been very powerful and part of your process too, is to be
Very
able
much
to.
so, yeah.
Okay.
Especially as I've grown older, because years ago I didn't pray as much, and I know it didn't help me much. It helped some, but only by God's grace He got me through that program so I could get this job. I give
Well,
Him all the
you
credit.
have quite an impact and wide-reaching ripple effects. So we appreciate everything that you have shared.
It's been a privilege, and I sure enjoy helping you and your mom and your family as much as I can. And the
Thank you,
whole thing
Dr.
is,
Kirch.
it all comes from one source. It all comes from the source of what we work for. We do our ultimate for His highest.
Thank you. Need to remember always. And thank you so much. And also, part of the journey, is being able to understand our unique story and testimony and impact uh, on 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 others and ourselves for generations to come. So part of that is being able to express, to share that story. And so I'm, one of my big lifetime goals, I guess, is to be able to write, to put this in written form and audio form, and also convey it in a film, in a feature film or series, whatever it takes, whether it's documentary or whatever it is, to be able to share this, and understand that I'm sharing it not for selfish reasons, like you said, but to be able to help people understand the story, to share the journey, and be able to get the life lessons that I have experienced firsthand, um, uh, to be able to utilize them. So, in doing so, and I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, that I would only be using, being able to use any of these materials and things for good, and ask permission prior to that, and want to make sure that we're on the same page about things. And Dr. Green too, I'm going to stay in touch with, and she's offered
But
to provide some insights and things for on upcoming book and things. So if you'd be open to that, we greatly appreciate your support.
sure, yeah,
Okay.
I know how important that can be. Your life is
Thank you,
worth
Dr. Kirch. Yes, and thank
helping
you.
other people with. That all
Yes.
the trial and tribulation can give you wisdom and strength, and
Thank you.
to help others with it.
Discernment too.
So
Yeah.
nothing is so bad that isn't good for something.
Thank you. You've been so, all these golden notes. You really, yes, thank you. And you were the one who, these babies who are my fur baby family, as you know, my therapy. They've been my lifeline, part of my therapy, and also my lifeline. They've saved me time and time again. I'm holding Ginger now, and and you had written that advocacy letter. Little did we know how important that they have been too, and you were the one who has advocated. We really needed that to be able to let people know who need to understand what we're about, you know, and how important we are to each other.
That's right. Yeah.
And we're all recovering.
Power.
Yep, thank you. And we're all recovering together. We're trying to be able to, um, to be healthier, to be healing each other, and know that we try to bless each other too. So, thank you very much, and also for all of your wisdom and insights and things. Might hopefully will be part of a book or film or some way of it, and to include you would be a great blessing too. So,
no, it'd be a privilege.
Thank you, and thank you. So
Okay.
we'll look forward to staying in touch, Dr. Kirch, and hopefully have finally some good news and some highlights and things, and be able to.
I believe good news is coming your way.
Thank you, and blessings to you. Trying to get back on the.
I believe in you, Susan. I believe in you. I know you can do this.
Thank you, Dr. Kirch, and get it back on the prayer path too, because, like you said, staying connected here, and the adversary trying to break down those connections, which is why struggle to communicate sometimes. It's because
got to recognize when he's trying to get in your case.
Yes, exactly.
When he's at your doorstep.
That's exactly right. Got to sanitize the doorknob too.
Sure. Yes. By all means.
So thank you so much for everything, and either way, we will definitely stay in touch, and hopefully have good news and catch up here soon. And
good. That sounds good. God bless you, Susan. Be safe.
You always, Dr. Kirch.
Okay?
Thank you for everything.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Stay in touch.
Sure thing, yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Teacher, he's all right. He's all right. He'll recover just fine. All right, teacher. He's all right, baby